O meu lugar é caminho de orgulho e anção. Lá tem samba até de manhã, uma giga em cada andar. O meu lugar é cercado de luta e suor, esperança num mundo melhor e cerveja pra... Welcome to the Beast Council. I am your host, Charles Anthony D. Clark. Bom Gia, here with another bright idea. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to take this off now. Um, Thank you for joining me. Big shout out to everyone that's joining me and continue with the support. Thank you for all the support with Aspire Beast Council and the Aspire Investing Meetup Group. Thank you for the continued support. We really, really appreciate it. We do have a special guest tonight, Jeremy is a broker out of Green Bay who I will be bringing on. But first, I have to go through and do my spiel and shout outs, which first and foremost, want to give a huge shout out to Next Home My Way, the brokerage where I hang my license up and have where I have my brokerage raise the standard, my team. Because I am a licensed real estate broker here in the state of Wisconsin. So I always want to give a big shout out to Next Home My Way because I am using their studio, our studio here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, across the street from the airport, 5151 South Howell Avenue, where we have our monthly meetings for the Aspire Investment Meetup Group, second Wednesday of every month. So I always want to give them a thanks. And Next Home My Way is an amazing brokerage. So if you are a real estate agent or broker who is looking for a brand new place to build your brand and build your business, Next Home My Way is a great place to consider. So I always would recommend reaching out to the broker manager, Jose Torres, or Carlos Rios. They are amazing individuals who are doing big things in the city of Milwaukee and is always looking to support those up and coming real estate agents and brokers and always looking to help grow and support them. So with that being said, I always like to talk about my team as well, which is Raise the Standard. And I like to just share that the three things that run my team is my three mottos, which is raise the standard of living. Every deal that we look at, if it doesn't make the client family, me, my family, our team, and our community better, then we don't want to be a part of that deal. If it doesn't raise the standard of living for all three teams, then there's no point, right? Because the client, they have a team. We have a team and the community is a team. And if all three teams don't benefit, then we don't want to be part of that deal. The second one is be better by being better. We always want to improve ourselves. We always want to improve our processes, our individual selves, our family, our livelihood, and how we bring ourselves to each and every day when we come to this office and supporting our clients. And so if we aren't getting better, then our community, our family, our clients, they're not getting better. And the last one is, what's your legacy? Like, why are you doing this? So that's something that I kind of ask myself every day is like, why am I doing this? I have a son and that's part of my legacy. And I want to make sure that I leave something better than what I had by, doing what I do. So that's how I try to approach this. And that's how I try to approach my team and manage my team by always asking that question is, what's your legacy? With that being said, let's bring in our guest, Jeremy. Welcome, Jeremy. How are you doing, sir?
What's up? How are you, brother?
I'm amazing. Thank you for joining the Aspire Beast Council. I know we've been talking about this, and thank you for taking the time to finally making the time so you can join.
Yeah, happy to be here. Appreciate you having me on. Looking forward to it.
Well, tell us about yourself, and then I'll get into some spiel about talking, because I know we can talk anyway about real estate. I know we both love this, so just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you kind of do in real estate, and then I'll start throwing rapid questions at you.
Awesome. Well, as you mentioned earlier, I am a broker up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I do have my own brokerage, First Class Real Estate Impact. Operate that out of Wisconsin in the Northeast Wisconsin MLS, predominantly around the Green Bay area. Starting to get some deals going down in the Milwaukee area too, as you know. So working on doing that. And, I've had my brokerage for 6 years now and done a little bit of investing here and there, but want to start focusing more on that. So I'm kind of transitioning, out of full-time running the brokerage to getting into more real estate investing and doing that kind of thing.
So why the switch?
I did it before I started my brokerage, and then I switched gears, ran a brokerage, was helping agents grow their business, helping investors grow their portfolios, and I'm like, I think it's time for me now.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to be a little selfish, right? And do some things for yourself. So it's like, I'm not getting any younger, and it's time to enjoy what I do every single day. And I miss being in the investing side of real estate. So,
okay. So do you feel like, I guess was there something missing that you felt like doing what you were doing, and now feeling like this investment thing is a, maybe a big chunk that I was missing out on because I was so focused on building this brokerage?
Well, I mean, a couple things. Partly, I think with the investing side, you have more control of your time. That's one big thing. I mean, we can't get any more time. It's one asset we can't get back. So I'm trying to be cognizant on how I control that going forward. And I don't know. Before I got my real estate license, my sales license, and then obviously my broker license to open the brokerage, I did a lot of home construction. I really just missed that part of it. Like seeing a project start to finish, like seeing something transform, whether it's a new construction or whether it's an old beat up house that gets reconstructed, or, maybe just a quick cosmetic flip, but whatever it is, I just miss being in that part of it.
Okay. So I guess, are those the type of investments that you want to go back after? Is new construction, or I guess a fix and flip and things of that nature?
I think, all of the above, really. I mean, at the end of the day, and you and I have this conversation, all the time, it's like, if the deal makes sense, it makes sense. It's not, I know you're supposed to have a buy box, and
I was going to ask you about that.
I mean, you are. I mean, and I do have a buy box, but I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, if the deal makes sense, and going off what you were saying in your introduction, I mean, if it helps other people win, then and it's a good deal, why not do it? I don't think I have to say, no, I'm only going to do these flips, or I'm only going to do new construction, or I'm only going to buy rentals. I mean, to me, investing is investing, and it covers all aspects of it. I mean, it could be a wholesale all the way to building an apartment building.
So since you have a wide open, I guess, approach to it, do you feel like your buy box is more of your return then, instead of saying, hey, I'm only going after single families or things of that nature?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that's probably the best way to look at it. Like, it needs to make X. And if it makes X, I don't care what it is.
Will you share with the audience what your X is?
My X is 25 grand.
25 grand?
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. I mean, and it has the number 5 in it.
Okay. And I know you're a big person on 5. So let's talk about that. Why 5?
Why 5? So 5 has always been my favorite number. And then over the last few years, I've kind of kind of made some life changes and some transformations in my own personal life. I know this is a real estate show, so I don't want to go too personal on it.
No,
But
you can. No, that's this. I want this to be about that. Investors are people, right? And you are an investor because you're a person and you went through certain things and you've experienced it. So please share if you don't mind.
So going further on the 5 being my favorite number, I realized that 555 is like the angel number for change and transformation, and that's kind of where my life has been the last couple of years, just making a lot of personal changes. And so started when I've been running the brokerage, but as I got back into investing and starting that, that business up, I named it 555 Holdco.
Okay.
With numbers in it. So.
And you said you were going through some things, like what were those things that, I guess, because I mean, I feel like it impacts your real estate, right?
It does big time. I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is I quit drinking on December 28th.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks. December 28th of 2024. So a few days ago was my 555th day of being sober. So that was
there you go, man.
This week's been kind of cool for that. Now I just got to get the 555 tattoo done.
So that's what you want to do now?
That'll be the next one on the other side. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
No, I mean, I think that was the biggest thing because, nothing against drinking. I mean, I did it for years.
You were good at it.
I was very good at it. I started young, went pro, and retired early. So it's like, but I could see the impact on everything, on my life, my family, my business. And I finally just decided, I woke up after a night of drinking and I'm like, I'm just going to take a month off. And that led to 2 months. And then it just
led to 555 days.
Yeah, exactly. So here I am. And when you don't have alcohol in your system and you wake up, you're clear-headed, you can think more. And I don't know. I feel like when I was drinking a lot, my real estate business was fine. I mean, I was doing deals all the time. I had a great real estate business, but there was more that I could have had. And you just kind of coast because you're not really 100% present.
Well, I mean, in real estate and being in Wisconsin, we're a drinking state. And I can honestly say being, around real estate, that it's a drinking sport.
Well, 100%. And honestly, that's where I got caught up in it for years because every event you go to, there's drinking and you just feel like you have to drink. Yeah. Now it's like, I mean, NA, nobody even knows. Nobody even cares. Yeah. And you'd be surprised at all the people that I used to drink with that don't drink anymore.
Yeah. Well, like you say, I do think times are changing and people are looking at drinking differently, especially with this new generation. I have a buddy who works at Miller Coors, and they're always. It's kind of funny being able to talk to someone who their business is selling and how they're trying to shift their business to adapt to the new market because younger generation is drinking less because of so much data out there of saying drinking is bad. Mm-hmm. So I definitely understand that, but no, that I feel like I've gone through my situations where I'm trying to drink less because you want to be more active, you want to be more present. I have a younger son, so you don't always want to, like you say, wake up with a fog brain, and you just don't realize the effect of it because, like you said, when you start young, you just think it's a natural part of how you feel. Like, oh, I always wake up like that, and it's like, well, how many drinks did you have last night?
100%. You just get used to it. You don't know that there's any other way to feel until you stop, and then when you stop, you're like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, no, man, I really appreciate you sharing that because I want to humanize real estate investing because I think a lot of people just assume that it's untouchable. It's by these individuals that, they're always been perfect. They always, had this going for them, and I can't do this now. And so, like, humanizing it by saying, hey, I was this way and I'm now doing this. So I do appreciate you sharing that.
I mean, that's a great point. I mean, I think it has to be humanized because too many people get caught up in the Instagram life, and then they see all these guys, these guru investor coaches, whatever they are, in their Lambos and their private jets that they rented for the day for the video shoot. And it's like, that's 1%. I mean, the other 99% are just like us.
Yeah, mid managers, and that's, I guess, and I appreciate you saying that, because that's part of the reason where I shifted my business to just focus on your mom and pop investors, because I felt like it was either people would assume that if I was investing, I had to go deal with a commercial broker, or I had my agent who deals with me, where you don't have someone walking you through the process of, as I say, you're not buying a property, you're buying a business. It just so happens to be a property. And so it's like better understanding that, and realizing that everyone's not seeking to get a Lambo, right? I tell people all the time that, get the duplex to get the new car, right? It could just be a regular new car that you want, a Toyota, right? But the duplex is paying for it. So like get your assets to pay your liabilities.
Well, 100%. And so many people, so many homeowners, there's so much equity that's out there right now, and a lot of people don't even realize it. Everyone knows that the market's gone up for the last 7, 8, 9 years, right? But it's like a lot of people don't realize what they can do with that. It's dead money. You and I talk about this.
Thank you for saying that. It's an argument I have with everyone, because everyone's like, well, my house is an asset. It's like, well, okay, how is it an asset when you're paying your mortgage every month and you're losing money? It's like, well, I got equity. And you just said the perfect word, is dead money. I call it paper money, because it's like, it's only on paper.
Your house can be your greatest investment, but it also can be your biggest, or your biggest. It can be your greatest asset, but it can also be your biggest expense.
Yeah.
It's how you treat
typically it is, right? Because it's what, 40% typically. That's what most banks lend on, right? It has to be at least 40% of your income.
But especially like the last 5 years, houses have gone up, houses have doubled in most markets, right? Or maybe even more than that. So it's like, and you're paying down, the value's going up, you're paying down. So it's like, you're getting more and more equity. Well, what are you doing with it? Besides just saying on paper, I have this net worth. Well, go triple your net worth with using that dead money.
So do you, in your experience, do you feel like that's a gap in the market, is that you have all these individuals that own these properties that have this equity, but they don't know how to use it?
Yeah, I think it's a big problem. I don't want to say problem, but I just think people could do so much more with just a little bit of education, or just maybe understanding what they could do. Because again, some people, it's just what they see on the internet. It's what they see on Instagram. They think that they got to have millions of dollars to be able to go out and do that. Where, I know a lot of people that start investing with hardly anything. If you find a good deal, there's people out there that want it.
So are you the type of person that says, find the deal first, and then you can find the money?
Everything revolves around the deal, right? Yeah. Here's the thing. You can listen to a lot of people will tell you, you got to have this buyer list. You got to have this, you got to have that. Well, if you don't have a deal, none of that matters. It's kind of like a real estate agent that wants to go to a 100% commission company. If they're not doing any deals, it doesn't matter if they're on 50-50, if they're getting 100%. At the end of the day, everything revolves around the deal. And you can go further. You can go even one step further. Where do the majority of deals come from? Sellers, right? The people that own the house. So
with you being a broker, like how do you see the market? Like, where do you see the real estate, I guess, from a broker standpoint? Like, where do you see it going for like agents and things of that nature?
Obviously, I don't think that there's going to be a time where AI is going to 100% replace the real estate agent, but AI is going to take a lot of the real estate industry away. Admins for one, transaction coordinators. There's so much AI can do there, but even I think a lot of real estate agents will not be in the business just because of the way technology is going. Just, that's my opinion. Could be right, could be wrong.
Do you feel like that's part? Because a lot of numbers have been coming out. I know last year they said 70% of agents did, 1 or 4 or less deals. So do you feel like that's going to continue to trend that way with AI and everything else?
Yeah, it's the 80-20 rule, like everything in life, right? 20% of the agents are doing 80% of the deals, and that could start going to 90-10. I mean, it's just, if agents weren't doing deals before, I just don't know how, with all this AI and new technology and people that are using AI in their businesses, they're just going to pass everyone up. I mean, AI is not going to replace you, but you need to use it to advance. It's just, otherwise you're going to get left behind.
Well, I know we've kind of talked about this, and this probably me regurgitating of our conversation, but do you feel like this is part of why, like, you are wanting to go after more deals, because you feel like it's going to be less, not to say less deals, but just solely waiting on someone to be ready to sell their house or buy their house, that I need to go and find the deal?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's a great point. I mean, I think that goes to where, like, focusing so much on running a brokerage and recruiting agents to a brokerage, where I think that model, I'm not saying it's going to die, because it will never die. I mean, you're always going to need brokerages and you're always going to need agents, but I think the way it was even just a few years ago is way different than it is now. So it's like, instead of getting the agents and hoping that the agents are going to go out there and find the deals and keep the brokerage running, or myself to go out and find, it's like, I think focusing on finding the deal and doing it myself, just routing what makes the most sense. I mean, should I wholesale this? Should I should I flip it? Should I keep it as a hold? Or could I sell it to one of the buyers that are in my pipeline that are looking for a house and they can't find one on market because the way the market's been, right? I mean, it's been so competitive lately. So, I mean, I've been trying to teach agents to do this for a few years now, and I just got frustrated that nobody saw it. Nobody wanted to do it, where it's like, I'm not saying you have to be 100% a real estate investor when you're an agent, but if you learn the tricks of what real estate investors do to find deals, you would be able to help yourself and your clients so much better. But a lot of traditional agents just don't see it that way. And I think they're going to get left behind the way the market changes.
No, I agree. I mean, in my role here at the Next Home, me being a director of agent development, like, I try to share with agents that I would say 20 to 30% of your business should be you, right? Because you're creating another income stream and you're not always worrying on the market. And I mean, part of the reason why I only go after investors, because I feel like investors don't care what the market's doing. They're looking, like you said, they're just looking for the deal. So the deal is going to be there in an up market, the deal is going to be there in a down market. So as long as I'm looking for the deal, like, you're going to find it whatever market you're in. So I do completely agree that I think a lot of agents are solely hooked on just having other people do their transactions, that they're beholden to the market and they have no control. So I do agree with you on that one. With that being said, I guess you obviously said you're looking for, whatever deal that comes that brings you that return. So you said 25,000. Is that more of a fix and flip opportunity, or even could be a BRRRR method? Is that kind of what you're aiming for when you do your deals?
I mean, I guess really everything is kind of, you can think of it as a BRRRR, right? I mean, if you're flipping it, you fix it, you rehab it, and then you just sell it. But if you're looking to keep it as a rental property, I think you should run the same numbers. Like, what value can I add to this, so you can do the BRRRR method and get your money back out of it, and then put that money into something else. So I think it's always, unless it's just a strict, doesn't really need anything done, and you can get it for a good price, and you want to keep it as a rental because rents are hot in that place, then I guess you wouldn't do it as a BRRRR. But I think mainly that's what you're looking to do.
Yeah, I feel like now buy and hold it's either for your older investor I feel like buy and hold is your bond, right? You're doing the bond play. Like, that's typically what you would do in investments in stocks or bonds is, hey, if I want my money to stay steady, I'm just going to put it in bonds and I'll make sure I get a steady return. I feel like that's with buy and hold. And you're not, because you're not redeploying your capital, you're not getting it back, or you're trying to wait for something to happen for you to bring your money back. So I think it's hard to scale if you don't do the BRRRR method.
100%. And I mean, and if you do the Bird method right, you can get paid. It goes back to what we said a little bit ago. It's like, it's finding the deal. You find the right deal. There's money to be made on multiple facets of it.
So I guess in your role now, and you feel like you're transitioning a little bit, like what do you ultimately see for yourself, or like what are you ultimately want to accomplish?
Some of this we'll discuss on the next podcast.
Yep.
there is some coming soon stuff that
we'll share it. We'll share it then.
Yeah, it's in the works right now, and it can't be 100% disclosed. But I am. Okay. There are some changes coming up, and I'm excited about them, and I can't wait to share them, and it will be within the next month. So hopefully I'll be able to be a guest again soon, and we can,
of course,
and we can share it then. But I mean, to what I can answer, it's really doing deals, and whether it's, I mean, again, a flip, a hold, whatever it is, or if I find something and I know there's another investor somewhere else and they can do it, then great. I mean, technically, I guess you wholesale it to them, but that I'm transitioning out of the day-to-day of being a real estate broker.
Okay. And is that just more personal, or because you feel like the impact of the market and how is it shifting?
Both.
I
mean, it started mainly personal. I mean, just again, time, getting my time back, spending the time on what I want to do, having the freedom, not having to be responsible for a million people, and just being able to do what I want to do. But again, I see things shifting in owning a brokerage. I think that's slowly going to die off, and there's going to be a few brokerages left.
And you feel like it's more beneficial to just, I guess, team up with them?
Yeah.
Because I mean, me, you've talked about it. I think the value that brokerages used to hold has gone away. Because I remember the days where people were like, "Are you a KW agent?" And that had some sway. And I feel like those days are kind of gone now.
I know so many real estate agents, I don't even know what brokerage they work at, because they brand themselves, and that's how I know them. I mean, and that's how it should be at the end of the day. I mean, the agent it should be their own brand. It's not the brokerage. The brokerage is where you hold your license, I guess. I mean,
I get, so with that being said, like what advice would you give some, agents that are still considering, and they are wanting, they see this as their way out, right? They see this as how they're going to make their thousands of dollars.
See what as their, like, investing, or
like I mean, obviously you've recruited. I think you still want to have some part of that. So like, I guess, how would you sell an agent of, hey, this is still something to do, even though we kind of just beat the market up and said run away from it? Like, how would you sell it and say, no, this is still an opportunity?
I think, again, it's, and I missed saying this earlier too. As I'm shifting myself into more investing, those are the agents that I want to work with as well. Like, agents that want to be investor focused agents. I mean, because I think, for one, it's going to help them grow their portfolio and help them build long-term wealth, build their legacy for their family and for what they want to leave behind. And not only that, it's going to help if they can learn those tactics and those things that they need to do to grow, to find the deals. Really, if they can figure out how to do that, they're going to help themselves and they're going to help their clients. Whether they're working with traditional clients, just buyers that need to find a house. I mean, you go find it's hard to find something on the market now, so that's why you need to find something off market. Well, if you can start learning how to do that, you can help yourself with finding investment deals as well, or for other investors. But I just think too, it's working with agents that get it, that want to work with investors. That's fun, because I love investment projects, but also those are the agents I think that see the big picture, that are like, they're not going to be having to do this for 40 years. And then 40 years from now, when they're 70 some years old, they don't have anything and they stop doing deals every single day. So now they don't really have any retirement. It happens too much in this industry. I mean, you see 70 and 80-year-olds that want to retire and they're still slinging houses, because so I think by helping them do that and realizing, you can get one investor client and that could be 10 deals a year, maybe 20, who knows? I mean, they're going to buy a house. You're going to list it. If they flip it, you could maybe get the buyer from that. So that one deal could turn into 3, and they do that 5 times. That's 15 just from one person. Now you find a few of those. You don't need to spin your wheels trying to find a new client every single week to get a new listing, and you got to do that for 30 years. I mean, to make
I feel some type of way about wholesalers because I think they are in the business of real estate and they are circumventing rules. But I agree with you. Like, there's no different of an agent, right? Because technically, an agent who put a listing on that's technically was off market. They just decided to put it on market, right? So right. You're just trying to say, hey, that agent could technically say, hey, I already have 10 buyers. I know your deal works for them. I don't need to even put this on the market. I'll just share this with them and get the deal done. So no, I completely agree with you that I think the traditional agent doesn't look at it that way. They just look at it, what can I put on the market and get it done, where you're kind of saying, hey, if I have 5 good buyers and I found this deal and I don't necessarily need to put it on the market. And take it one step further, you finding the deal, right? Because you're the agent, technically you found the deal. Well, you made that transaction. That's one transaction. You fix it up, you put it on the market. That's technically your listing. But if you find the buyer, that ends up being 3. Right. That's technically 3 paychecks, right?
Right.
And, and I think a lot of agents don't think like that. And I think you sharing that just shows like the different perspective that you can have if you do have an investor mindset with this license. And what I always tell people, the license is a golden ticket because you can do so much with it. But I don't hear a lot of brokers speak like what you're speaking. So it's refreshing hearing a broker speak like that and wanting to help their agents have different streams of income, because I think that's what ultimately supports an agent's business. Is like, you're just like Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola just doesn't sell Coke. They own Fritos. They own all these other divisions and snacks and everything else. And it's like all these other streams of income to support their business. And that's just not taught as an agent.
Well, the unfortunate thing, you're right. It's not taught because there's a lot of brokers out there that are still in the old broker mindset, the old brick and mortar, like, you need me, I don't need you. And I'll just go get another one of you or 10 more of you. And I mean, it's just the wrong way to do it. And ever since I've had my brokerage, I never thought that way. I mean, I've always tried to help the agents and think in a different way because, instead of relying on a brokerage just to give you 100 leads a month to go out and just be a Uber agent with a license, I mean, and just show up and show houses. I mean, it's like trying to teach them other ways to do things and just to better themselves and to better their buyer, to better their clients, give better service.
Just know that's going to be a clip. Jeremy says most agents are Uber drivers with a license. We're gonna get a lot of backlash with that. But no, I agree with you. And I think a lot of agents get frustrated because I try to differentiate myself from other agents and say, like, most agents are just showing you a property. Yeah, you can show them through the transaction, but at the end of the day, if that person buys a house once every 15 years, like how valuable are you in that? That situation of talking them through a transaction. And I think that's what you were saying earlier. Like AI has been doing that, right? I think that was where someone used AI to put their house on the market, right? I think that is going to be more available to people because it's like, well, I'm only going to sell my house 3 times in my whole lifetime. Why wouldn't I just do it on these 3 different occasions?
100%. And I agree. And sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
No worries. I mean, because we were talking talking shit about agents. So
well, yeah, but I mean,
and we're agents and brokers.
But it's the way the market is changing, and there's so many less transactions now, and you see so many agents dropping out of the business. It's now more than ever the agent has to show their value, and I mean, what better way to show your value when you took a buyer, showed them 15 houses, wrote 15 offers, got beat out on all 15 of them. But now you come with this shiny golden ticket. Hey, I found this house. It's not on the market. There's no competition. You don't have to rush in today and make a decision in 2 minutes and write an offer for way over ask just to get it. You can actually think about this, and we can go and look at it, and there's no competition. I mean, that's value. I mean, that you're giving to a client, right?
I think you just made me I never technically thought about taking a buyer and having them do the fix and flip, but they end up with the property.
Oh yeah. That's a great, I mean, I've done that in the past too, where it's like, if you have a buyer that maybe they have some time and then they're able to do that, they don't have to just sell their house and get into the next house right away, where they have time where they can fix that up. It's a great way to do it. I mean, it opens up so many more avenues for your client. And at the end of the day, that's what we're supposed to do, is provide value to our clients. But too many agents get stuck in the mindset of, I'm just going to throw them on a listing card, and I'm going to go keep showing them houses and writing offers, and eventually one will get accepted. No, take some time and go create the inventory.
And I think that's definitely where I want to move my life. But you just really opened my, because we were talking about all these people with equity. Well, you can do a bridge loan, right? You can still stay in your place, fix up the property, and move it and sell your place after you fix up this new place when you move in it. So yeah, man, I never thought of that. I never thought of that until right now.
How many sellers have you talked to in the last 5 years and they've said, I would love to sell my house, but I'm not doing it until I find one? And then the agent's just like, okay. And then they let it go, right? They're just like, well, yeah, they want to sell their house, but they won't sell it because there's nothing on the market. Well, ding, 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 ding. Go find.
They already told you they want to do it, so now let them.
They want to do it. They just told you they want you to sell their house and they want you to sell them a house. So go find the house. It doesn't have to be on the market. I think that's the biggest thing that agents need to get through their head. Just because it's not in your MLS system when you log in the morning, it's out there. There's plenty of houses.
And they only think of it, let me find the one that's, like I said, off market is no different to us as a licensed agent. It's just, we just haven't did a listing contract.
I think there's a stigma with off market, right? It's distressed. It's going to be something wrong with it. The people that own it are distressed, whatever. There's some distressed situation, so I'm not even going to bother with that. No. How do you think these listings that are immaculate that go on and they're MLS ready, at one point they weren't on the market?
Yep. No, I mean, that's most fix. Yeah, the most fix and flip deals. Most fix and flip deals are that, right? They were something that was off market. No one knew they was there. Some investor got a hold of it, fixed it up, and then they gave it to an agent. And then the agent is like, just treat it as a normal listing instead of like, oh, I could have found that, right? I could have put that deal together and I could have sold it to my buyer, right? So yeah, because I think most of the times, I think people have a misconception of off market because they assume agents are not involved. And I always tell people, an agent eventually has to get involved in most off-market deals, because if it is an investor who doesn't, a lot of times they can't personally buy it, so they need to use an agent to do it, and the wholesaler has to move out of the way because they can't be a part of the deal, or they will eventually need to get their license. So most off-market deals are done by an agent, but like you said, most of them are so afraid of it, they don't know the process and how to go through it and make that part of their repertoire.
Or once they learn the process, they realize it's some work, and a lot of them just don't want to do that. That'll be another clip.
Agents lazy? Come on. They just want to list and collect money. They don't want to do anything. All right. Well, we're going to stop talking crap about other agents. But all right. So let me ask you this. Where do you see yourself in the next 3-5 years? And then we're going to reverse engineer it.
In the next 5 years, not living in Wisconsin during the winter. That's one. I mean, that's the first and foremost.
Yeah, I know.
Another reason why, I mean, freedom of lifestyle, why focusing more on investing and not just running a brokerage or working in one market. Now you can have freedom of where you live. I mean, I don't want to be location dependent.
Okay.
That's probably my main thing. I mean,
the main thing, you want to have an impact on the real estate, and not necessarily it all has to be in Wisconsin because that's where you got your license.
100%. I mean, I've always had my license in Wisconsin just because, but there's ways in this business that you don't have to be in Wisconsin to
make money.
Yep.
No, I know that's future conversation.
And
I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I know you want to also do your podcast. And have you decided when you're going to roll that out?
Yeah, very, very soon here, within the next couple of weeks. And it'll be called Be More Real.
Okay.
Be More is my tagline, but the show is going to be called Be More Real because I just want it to just be real. Like just talk real numbers. Like if I lost my ass on a deal, I want to document it and talk about it. If I did great, I want to talk about it because not everything is Instagram, Lambos, and jets. Sometimes deals do go bad, but you know what? You either learn or you win.
Tell me a bad deal.
There are no bad deals. I mean,
no bad deals. Just learning lessons.
Just learning lessons. So some are harder lessons than others, more expensive lessons than others. But that's the other thing over the last few years. I've instead of looking at the past and regretting things, it's like just take the lesson out of it and move on and don't do it again.
I feel like we had that earlier today because I remember us talking earlier. You kind of stopped yourself like, we could go back and change it, but it was like, why? The situation the way it was, I had a mindset then, because I kind of do hate when people like, if I could go back, well, if you didn't go through it, you couldn't go back. Right. So it's like, if you went back to change the past, then you wouldn't have went through that situation. Then you would have never learned it. So like, I do dislike when people say, well, if I was 20 and I would do this, it's like, well, no, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't have learned that lesson. And then you would have just went through a different painful situation.
Yeah. So it's like, take the lesson. But yeah, I mean, I think 5 years being somewhere warm, at least part of the year.
Okay.
I need the sun. And
do you want it progressively like, hey, okay, in the next 2 years, 2-3 months, and then by 5 years from now is half of the year?
In the next year, I can see somewhere west in my horizon for at least half the year.
Okay. So that's the goal. 6 months out of Wisconsin, 6 months here.
Yeah, at least 3 months here. June, July, and August when it's nice.
Okay. I tell people I lived in Brazil for a year, and even living there, I was like, I would just always think about summer in Wisconsin. I was like, you still can't beat that here.
No, I love it. I mean, it's one of the greatest places. It's June, July, August, maybe even September. It's awesome to be here. But after that, getting older, I don't really care for the snow. But it's not being location dependent.
Having a little bit more freedom.
Yeah, have a little more freedom, being able to run a business from other places. I mean, that's kind of where I'm transitioning. And
so do you have a number? Like since you want to talk about numbers, there's a number you need to reach to accomplish that?
Overall number, like monthly number, overall number, or number of units?
Whatever number you want to give me. All of it.
Well, I mean, it probably has a 5 in it.
500, 50, 500 units, 50 units.
Oh, probably 50 units is kind of my number.
So out of those 50 units, what do you think is a comfortable number for Jeremy to live?
$25K
a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really depends on really the lifestyle, right? Or where I am, or what's paid for, what's not paid for.
Well, you said going west. You're gonna need that money going west.
Right. Could just live on a cruise ship.
Or That's true. Like I've never kind of, realized the alternative lifestyles that you could live that is cheaper than, like, most people are like, well, I got to own something. It's like, well, do you? And
No, do you
like, because I
really?
always think of, and I know me and you talked about, is like, we can own an Airbnb, right? And that's kind of, that Airbnb would pay for itself. And then it's like, I know I have a goal for myself, like own an Airbnb in Arizona. And my goal is to be able to stay there for a month and don't have to pay for anything. And I know most people are like, well, I need to make all this. And it's like, no, I want to make sure that it pays for that month when I'm there.
I mean, to be honest with you, and I know we're in the real estate business, but it's like, I think if you live in it, you can rent it. If you own it, you should rent it out.
People don't like to think that, but I think that's what most wealthy people do. Because, like you said, most wealthy people probably don't stay in their house all the time. So the smartest thing they can do is rent it out. And I think Airbnb is what opened everyone's eyes to that. I think they let the normal people realize that's what rich people do.
Yeah,
with their
because
properties.
you can own multiple houses in multiple locations, and they all pay for themselves. I mean, or I guess you could just own 4 houses outright and just go to them when you feel like going to them. But I don't want to do that. I mean, why? I don't want to throw that money away.
Well, yeah, because we already talked about that. You own them outright, and that's equity just sitting there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dead money.
Yeah, I truly feel like I don't. Obviously, I want to pass my stuff off on legacy, as I talked about earlier. What's your legacy? Is like, if I hand over something that's free and clear, I think I did myself a disservice.
Well, I think you did, because what more could you have done with that?
Yeah. And you could have left a bigger legacy.
But I guess if you're going to get to a point to where you have enough, and maybe you don't want you. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you're creating this, right, it has to be a business, right? And so it's like we talked about this earlier, right? I think in our earlier meeting, you brought up about a business owner, right? He didn't have family, so he's just shut it down. And it was like, I feel like that's wasted equity, right? Because he just shut this thing down that he was running for all these years. Now all of a sudden, there could have been some equity, that he could have handed off to someone else and they would have carried it on. But it was like, now he just completely shut it down. To me, that's the same thing of having paper money.
I agree, 100%.
All right, we're almost getting to that. So, I mean, you said 5 years. You want to go back? Is there anything you want to share with the community, and I guess how to find you and things of that nature?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook, the Jeremy Huber. You just hit me up, DM me if you're ever in the Green Bay area and need anything. And be watching for my podcast, Be More Real. It's in the works right now. Just getting some episodes lined up to get the launch going, and Charles will be a guest on there. So
yes, I will
be sure to get that out to your community. But yeah, if I can help anyone in any way, hit me up.
Is there any particular individuals that you would, if they were seeking something, they should reach out to you?
Well, if you're looking to sell a house, I'd love to talk. If you're an agent who's struggling with anything, I'd love to help you out. And if you're an investor that needs an agent to help find deals, hit me up.
Awesome. Well, before I let you go, I just want to truly share that, Jeremy, you were doing what you normally do, and that's how we ran into each other. You reached out to me and started a conversation. You're trying to sell me on getting a brokerage, and I feel like the conversation probably went completely right, and I think ended up on a 2-hour conversation that same day. And you've just been an important individual in my life these past 6 months now. We're going 6-7 months.
Yeah,
and
we've been dating for 6 months now.
Yep. And I want to honestly say, man, you have a huge impact on my life. You really helped me hold myself accountable. We meet once a week, and I just want to honestly say you're that, how people say you're the 5 people, and I've been trying to slowly shift that in my life. And I honestly want to say you are one of those 5 people, just from the conversations that we had, and you've just helped me grow. And I honestly want to say part of the reason why put my podcast out before yours is because of the conversations we had, and you just holding me accountable, man. So I just want to just say to you on this and just say truly thank you, man. Thank you for being who you are and being just stepping into my life as who you are and helping me see things differently. So I'm just really grateful, and I really appreciate it, man.
Of course, and likewise, brother. I mean, it's right back at you. You do the same for me, whether you know it or not. I mean, I love our weekly meetings. I love our calls in between the meetings. It's great since we've gotten to know each other. Big things are coming.
Yes, they are, man. Jeremy, thank you so much for being on Inspired Beast Council. I thank you so much, man. I will be on Be More Real when it's ready and coming out, and we will talk soon.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, man.
See ya.
Yep. And there you have it. That's Jeremy. You can find him on Instagram and Facebook. Awesome guy. Honestly, he, like I was sharing, he reached out to me trying to recruit me. I wasn't ready at the time, but he was just an amazing individual, just letting me share who I was, and just truly gave me an opportunity to really vocalize what I wanted to kind of do. And I feel like he would say that I maybe helped him see investing as an opportunity for him that he was probably putting on a back burner. So I really feel like we both have affected each other in that way. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to start doing this podcast, was because of the conversations me and him was having. And just, it's and what I always try to tell with people is that real estate is a team sport, and it's really important to get those individuals around you that support what you're trying to do, see your vision, and want to be a part of it. So if there's one thing that I ultimately want to get across to individuals in this, is that don't do this alone. It's not fun. It's not fun to do this by yourself. It's more fun when you find people who want to be who want to do the same thing, right? Who want to meet with you, who want to sit down, who want to analyze deals, who want to go on showings, who want to do project management with you. I'm not a big hammer, so I don't want to actually fix the properties, but if I can help people and bring people to it, and if you're someone who wants to do that fixing, like, I want to work with those type of individuals, and I feel Jeremy would say the same. So if there's anything that I want to get across to people with this podcast and the deal analysis and the monthly meetup group, is that this is a team sport, and there's no reason to do this by yourself. So, and with that being said, I do the deal analysis every Tuesday at 12 o'clock. So if there's any deals out there that you want someone else to kind of look at for you, please reach out to me. I will do it live, or I can get back to you with that as well. Every Wednesday we do the podcast, Beast Council, 7 p.m. here next week. And then every second Wednesday of your month, we do our Aspire monthly meetup, where we get people actually together in person and talking about investments. I'm just proud. Like, I'm just happy. Like I said, Jeremy is a really good person. He just reminds me why I truly love what I'm doing, and is trying to navigate this thing, because real estate is such a traditional thing that, when you do get around people that help you look at things differently, it just really opens your mind up. It really opens up all the possibilities that you can do through this. So just always want to just be thankful when you find those type of people and you can bring them in your life. So again, thank you, Jeremy, for joining. And then I want to give my last shout out to Next Home My Way, again, our brokerage here. This would not be possible without being able to use their social media room. So if you're an agent, you're a broker out there that's looking for new opportunities, that, new ways to grow your business, please reach out to me, Jose, or Carlos, or Angel, our broker owner. He has a branch here and in Lake Mary, Florida. So you got opportunities here to grow yourself in Wisconsin or in Florida. So big shout out to them, and always want to just give thanks for them giving me this opportunity to hang my license up at their brokerage and allow me to build my brand with using their social media room. So And that is it. So thank you again for joining me on Aspire Beast Council. I am Charles Anthony Clark, here with another